All right, so you send over this Daily Mail article about the Pentagon and UFOs, and wow, this one is really something else.
It's definitely a head scratcher.
It talks about a program to recover alien tech.
Yeah.
And, I mean, that sounds like a, straight out of a movie plot.
Oh, for sure.
But what makes it really strange is the source.
Right.
We're talking about Dr. Sean Kirkpatrick,
Right.
the head of the Pentagon's All-Domain Anomaly Resolution Office.
Uh-huh. AR.
ARRO for short.
Yeah. Yeah. It's definitely attention-grabbing.
Yeah.
And you're right, the source is really key here.
Yeah.
Dr. Kirkpatrick has been so skeptical publicly about the idea of recovered alien technology.
Very much so.
So to see him now acknowledging a program focused on this, it's a real turnaround.
It is. It's like he did a complete 180.
Yeah.
So before we, get lost in the sci-fi of it all, let's break down what this article actually says.
Yeah, let's get into the nuts and bolts.
What are the nuts and bolts of this program, and why was it created?
Well, the article states that it was officially established early 2023.
Okay.
And it involves some serious players.
Okay.
We're talking U.S. Space Command.
Wow.
The Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Okay.
The aim is apparently to set up protocols for recovering anything anomalous.
Anything anomalous? Like what kind of anomalous are we talking here?
Well, that could be anything.
Okay.
From stray weather balloons and drones to, yes, alleged alien tech.
Okay, so they're casting a pretty wide net here.
Right.
But why all the secrecy?
Right.
I mean, why involve all of these high-level agencies if we're just talking about lost drones?
Well, the article sheds some light on that, too.
Okay.
It points out that similar programs have been around for a long time.
Okay.
Mainly aimed at getting their hands on foreign technology.
Right.
Like think Russian or Chinese tech.
Okay.
To figure out how it works.
Right.
And maybe even use it to their advantage.
Right.
This new program seems to be taking that same approach, but widening the scope to include those mysterious UAPs.
Unidentified aerial phenomena.
Exactly.
So it's like they're saying, hey, if we find anything weird out there, let's have a plan for what to do with it.
Exactly.
But this Daily Mail piece throws a real curveball in here.
It does.
It brings up some seriously conflicting information that makes this whole thing even more confusing.
You're talking about Dr. James Lukotsky, right?
Yes.
The former Defense Intelligence Agency DIA, yes.
Okay.
Who claims the U.S. has already recovered.
Recovered what?
And even been inside an alien spacecraft.
Wow.
He even says he briefed the Senate Majority Leader on this.
Wow.
Way back in 2011.
Wait, hold on.
Yeah.
We have two high-ranking officials, both supposedly in the know, saying completely opposite things.
It is more than confusing.
Yeah.
It's downright contradictory.
Yeah, it is. It definitely highlights the minefield we're walking into here.
It does. Conflicting accounts.
Yeah.
Classified information. A history of government secrecy.
Right.
All of this makes it incredibly tough to separate fact from fiction.
Right.
Especially when it comes to something as sensational as alien technology.
Exactly.
It really throws a wrench in the works, doesn't it?
It does.
You have Dr. Kirkpatrick, who initially expressed skepticism, and now he's acknowledging this recovery program.
Yeah.
Then you have Dr. Lukotsky claiming the U.S. government has already been inside an alien craft.
Right.
It's like a puzzle where the pieces just don't seem to fit.
Yeah, it's very strange.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if there's a reason for this sudden shift in Dr. Kirkpatrick's stance. What's changed? I mean, did he stumble upon some earth-shattering information that flipped his perspective?
That's a possibility.
Yeah.
Maybe leading ARO has given him access to information that he didn't have before.
Right.
Something that convinced him of the need for this program.
Or maybe it's all a carefully orchestrated move.
Ooh.
Perhaps the government is intentionally revealing.
Right.
Just enough to pique our curiosity.
Right.
But not enough to give us any concrete answers.
Could be a way to manage the narrative, right?
Yeah.
Create a formal process, control the information flow, and dodge those pesky accusations of cover-ups.
Yeah.
It's like saying, look, we're taking this seriously.
Yeah.
We have a system in place.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
It's a clever tactic if that's the case.
Sure.
But even if the government isn't convinced about the alien tech angle, could there be other more strategic reasons for this program's existence?
Absolutely. By publicly acknowledging this program, the government might be hoping to attract more credible reports.
Interesting.
If people believe the government is genuinely interested in investigating UAPs, they might be more likely to come forward with their own experiences. It's like casting a wider net, hoping to catch something truly remarkable.
I see. So it's like a way to encourage people to come forward.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And even if they don't find alien tech, the program could still lead to some pretty significant advancements.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Recovering and analyzing unknown objects, even if they're just advanced drones from another country, could provide insights into new materials, propulsion systems, maybe even sensor technologies.
That's amazing.
There's potential for major breakthroughs, regardless of the origins of the recovered objects.
Right. But let's not forget about the potential dangers that the article hints at.
Exactly. This program could unintentionally escalate tensions with other countries, especially if a recovered object is mistaken for foreign technology.
So you're saying a case of mistaken identity could spark an international incident?
It could.
That's a scary thought.
Imagine the fallout if, say, a piece of advanced Chinese drone tech was misidentified as something extraterrestrial. It could have serious diplomatic repercussions.
Wow.
And then there's the question of what happens if they actually do find something undeniably of non-human origin.
Right, like how would that knowledge be handled?
Exactly. Would it be shared with the public?
Right.
Or would it be kept under wraps?
And how would such a revelation impact our understanding of our place in the universe?
Huge questions.
It's almost too much to comprehend.
Yeah.
But the article also mentions whistleblowers who claim there's a classified reverse engineering program going on. If that's true, wouldn't that suggest a lack of transparency?
It definitely raises concerns about secrecy and potential misuse of this technology.
Yeah, and remember, we're talking about technology. That if it truly is extraterrestrial, would be far more advanced than anything we currently possess.
It's a Pandora's box of possibilities.
It is.
And not all of them are good.
Yeah, it makes you question the ethics of reverse engineering technology. That might belong to a civilization we haven't even met yet.
Yeah. Are we essentially stealing intellectual property from a species we know nothing about? It's a question that science fiction has grappled with for decades.
For sure.
But this article brings us back down to Earth by focusing on the tangible potential for technological advancements through these recovery programs.
The article even mentions Project Azorian.
Yes.
That covert CIA operation from 1974 where they recovered a sunken Soviet sub. It was all about getting their hands on Soviet technology.
To gain an edge during the Cold War.
Exactly.
It shows that these types of recovery programs have been happening for a long time.
Yeah.
And the goals are often the same. Learn, adapt, and gain an advantage. But this new program, with its focus on potential alien tech, adds a whole new dimension to the conversation.
It does.
It's no longer just about keeping up with our earthly rivals. It's about potentially interacting with something entirely unknown.
Yeah, and the article seems to use the existence of this program to fuel the speculation about extraterrestrial life. It's like the Pentagon, by simply acknowledging the program, is giving legitimacy to the idea of alien technology, whether they intend to or not.
It makes it harder to dismiss the idea as pure fantasy when the very organization tasked with investigating these phenomena is talking about recovering potential alien tech.
But then we're back to those conflicting accounts from Dr. Kirkpatrick and Dr. Lakatsky.
Exactly.
How do we reconcile their seemingly opposite stances?
Yeah. Is it possible that they have access to different levels of classified information? Maybe Dr. Kirkpatrick, despite being the head of ARO, isn't privy to everything Dr. Lakatsky knew while he was at the DIA?
That's possible.
Yeah.
Or perhaps there's a deliberate strategy at play.
Could be.
Maybe Dr. Kirkpatrick is downplaying the alien angle. To avoid causing widespread panic or disrupting international relations. I mean, imagine the chaos. If the government came out and said, we have proof of alien technology.
Yeah, it would be a paradigm shift for humanity.
It would. It's like we're caught between wanting answers and being afraid of what those answers might reveal. We crave knowledge. But the implications of that knowledge, especially when it comes to something as profound as extraterrestrial life can be overwhelming.
It can be a lot to process.
It is. But let's shift gears a bit and talk about something the article only touches on briefly. This wave of drone incursions over U.S. military bases.
It adds a sense of urgency to the situation, doesn't it?
It does.
We're not just talking about hypothetical crashed UFOs anymore. We're talking about unidentified objects actively intruding on sensitive military airspace.
Right, and according to the article, NORAD has reported over 600 of these incursions.
Wow.
Since 2022.
That's a lot.
That's a significant number.
Yeah.
And it suggests a pattern that demands investigation.
It does.
The article even quotes General Glenn Van Herrick, the commander of U.S. Northern Command, who's been very vocal about the need to identify and address these unknown objects.
Yeah.
But identifying them seems to be a major challenge.
It is. They're often difficult to track with conventional radar.
Yeah.
And there are legal hurdles to using more advanced espionage technology over U.S. soil.
Right. So it's a complex issue.
It is.
Both technically and legally. But the implications for national security are huge.
They are.
If these unidentified objects are foreign drones, they could be gathering intelligence, or even worse, posing a direct threat.
Yeah, but what if they're not drones?
Right.
What if there's something else entirely?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is.
It brings us back to Dr. Kirkpatrick and his apparent change of heart. Did something happen that convinced him these unidentified objects are something truly extraordinary? Or is there something else driving this new program? Something beyond the search for alien technology?
Good question.
This is where the article leaves us hanging, providing intriguing information, but no concrete answers.
And that's the beauty of it. This deep dive has taken us into a world of mystery and intrigue.
It has.
Forcing us to question what we think we know.
Yeah.
It's like we've been given a puzzle with some pieces missing, and we're left to fill in the gaps with our own interpretations and conclusions.
Well, we're not done yet.
Oh.
There's one more aspect of this story that we need to explore.
Okay.
The human element. The article spends some time discussing the psychological impact of all this. And I have to say, it's a point that really resonated with me. For years, you know, the government pretty much dismissed or downplayed UFO sightings. And now they're openly talking about a program to recover potential alien tech.
It's a big shift.
It's a massive shift in their messaging.
It really is. And it makes you wonder how this shift is impacting people's perceptions of reality. There's this psychological concept called cognitive dissonance. Which basically means we experience discomfort when our beliefs clash with new information. In this case, the government's actions are directly challenging a long-held belief for many that we're alone in the universe.
So people are grappling with this new information. Trying to reconcile it with what they thought they knew. It's bound to create some tension.
Absolutely. Some people might welcome the possibility of alien life with open arms, seeing it as confirmation of what they've always believed. Others might double down on their skepticism, viewing it as further evidence of government conspiracies or attempts to manipulate the public.
It's like this whole thing has opened a Pandora's box.
It has.
Of beliefs and anxieties. And the article doesn't shy away from exploring those anxieties.
No, it didn't.
It talks about people worrying about hostile alien encounters. About the ethical implications of interacting with extraterrestrial civilizations.
Big question.
It's a lot to process.
It's a natural human response to grapple with the unknown. We tend to project our own fears and anxieties onto things we don't understand. Especially when those things have the potential to disrupt our entire worldview.
It's like all those sci-fi movies we've grown up with. The ones that used to seem so far-fetched are suddenly feeling a little too close to home.
Exactly. But it's crucial to remember that fear thrives on a lack of knowledge. The more we learn about UAPs, the more we can separate fact from fiction and make informed judgments about this phenomenon.
So maybe this new program, as secretive as it seems, could actually help alleviate some of those anxieties.
It's possible.
By bringing more transparency to the subject.
It could, but it's also important to manage expectations. we might not get all the answers we're seeking.
Right.
At least not right away.
Yeah. The truth is often out there.
It is.
But it can take time and effort to uncover it.
For sure.
It's like we're entering a new era of discovery.
Yeah.
Where everything we thought we knew about the universe is being called into question.
Right.
But beyond the big existential questions, the article also raises practical concerns about the implications of this program for things like scientific advancement and national security.
That's right. If we actually manage to recover and analyze unknown technology, whether it's from a foreign adversary or an extraterrestrial civilization, the potential for scientific breakthroughs is enormous.
It is. Imagine the possibilities.
New energy sources, advanced propulsion systems, materials with properties we can only dream of.
It's incredible, but it's a double-edged sword, isn't it?
It is.
That same technology, especially if it's beyond anything we currently understand, could be weaponized.
It could.
It could spark a whole new arms race.
Yeah.
One with consequences we can't even begin to fathom.
It's a classic dilemma.
It is.
Every technological leap forward brings with it the potential for both progress and destruction.
Right.
It's up to us as a society to ensure that those advancements are used responsibly and ethically.
Well, this deep dive has certainly been a wild ride.
It has.
We've explored shadowy government programs, conflicting accounts from high-ranking officials, the potential for alien technology, and the profound implications it could have for humanity.
It's a lot to take in.
I'm left with a feeling of awe.
Yeah.
A touch of apprehension.
I can understand that.
And a whole lot of unanswered questions.
And that's the beauty of exploration, isn't it?
It is.
It's about embracing the unknown. Challenging our assumptions. And expanding our understanding of the universe and our place within it.
Right.
This new program, despite its secrecy, is a step towards acknowledging that there are things out there we don't understand.
So for you listening, here's what we want you to consider.
Okay.
The world is a far more complex and mysterious place than we often give it credit for.
It is.
There are things out there that defy our current understanding. Things that push the boundaries of what we believe to be possible.
For sure.
Don't be afraid to question.
No.
To be curious.
Right.
To seek out knowledge.
It's out there.
And maybe, just maybe, someday those answers will be found. Not in government files. Or leaked documents, but in the stars themselves.
That's a great point.
And that's where we'll leave you today.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure.
Until next time.
Yeah.
Keep looking up.
Yeah.
And keep asking questions.